Well, good morning, everybody. Boy, I haven't looked in the mirror this morning. Well, 2 hours ago. I get up early, don't I? Um, it was time to get up. I don't know. Anyway, it's like, wow, it looks like I have dark circles. I ate something yesterday that was not normal, and I'm fine. I was a little like my body was sore waking up. So probably not a good thing to repeat, but whatever. Good morning, everybody. Uppercase Q's, please, please. Um, those of you who know. If you don't know, you'll find out soon. Um, I'm having my second hazelnut cinnamon coffee this morning. I've got to buy some more of that community coffee that Joanne sent me last year that was king cake. I actually have it in my shopping list for next month. I've decided that it's okay to have flavored coffees when I want them. Okay, so good morning. Yeah, I set up the live, I don't know, hours ago while I was sitting up on the ridge with my first cup of coffee, and I was able to like advertise it a little bit on Facebook and stuff. So, welcome, whoever's around. Let's see what's going on. Good morning, Beth. Good morning, Leanna. Leanna, I hope we can find Wendy's harness. I didn't realize how much I was so tired that I couldn't climb under the porch yesterday at your house. But uh, getting another one could be really challenging with me not going to Sholo very often. And when I came home, I had a weird thing happen with the car. So I'm really, maybe it was just an anomaly. Let's call it a anomaly. Let's call it an anomaly and just say it's not going to be a problem because most things go well for me. But darn, I don't know, cars. What a what a thing. Cars was weird. It has been weird for me. Um Hi Iris, Beth, Liana, Donna Kay. Hi, good morning. How you feeling, Donna Kay? Um yeah, we hope Donna Kay's doing well. Um yeah, it's sun from this direction. I'm on the in the screen patio. The signal seems to have been pretty good today, even here and up on the ridge. But I didn't want to risk sitting on the ridge for the live and not been able to the live chat and not been able to, or struggling with that. So I didn't want to struggle. So I set this up here. I just finished having my breakfast. I Miss Carrie, who sells baked goods at the Witchwell Farmers Market on Saturday mornings, and I think they go from 8 till noon now. Um, she, I have not been able to make my own bread lately because of a couple of things, lots of stuff going on. And it just has been inconvenient. I called her the other day and asked her if she would make me a very plain loaf of bread so that I could have bread without the extra work until I'm a little more prepared for making my own. So, and making bread is not a hard thing. It's just I need a little help right now, and need a little community assistance. And I know that Carrie uses really clean ingredients, and so I asked her, and it cost me $6 for a loaf of bread, beautiful loaf of bread. Um, and so this morning, okay, wait. And then my other neighborly friend, Chris, who took the chickens that I had had here before, um, she also, like I do, we don't accept that we have the diagnosis that we've been given by society, by the doctors and everything else. But technically, her family has MS in it as well, and so she has a few things that are similar to me. We discuss things off and on and stuff like that. Anyway, Chris and I have made an arrangement. I have found some half dozen egg boxes, and I have been able to carefully have egg a, a few times a week, but I seem to have to be careful with the egg yolk. Um, Although I don't really have a big problem with it. So I'm not gagging. So this morning, just to cut this comment short, this morning I had one slice of her bread with one egg, scramble fried. It was a little toasty, but because I was doing something and I just let it sit and I didn't care. Um, and I fried the egg in the dirty fry pan that had cooked a hamburger last night. It's what I did. So I didn't use any butter because I knew there was beef in it. And so, but that's what I had for breakfast. And I just finished that maybe, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes ago and made a second cup. So this is nice and warm, a second cup of coffee. Um, Wendy and the cat are chasing a chipmunk in the yard around the shower house right now. I don't know what else I need to tell you about that stuff right this minute. Um, I'm going to take under advisement something that Leanna said to me yesterday. She doesn't even know that it affected me, probably, but affected me in a good way because something she said about some thoughts she had about food and eating in her past reminded me of something I went through years ago. And so I was thinking about how sometimes we have this mental picture of what food ought to look like for a meal or something. And sometimes it's like if you're going to make a, I don't know what, let's use hamburger for an example, okay? Say you were going to make a hamburger by United States American um, standards. You would think that you need a bun, so that's two pieces of bread, and you would think that you would need, a quarter to a half pound patty. You would need, I don't know, some people are into cheeseburgers. I won't do that because I won't mix my dairy and my meat. Now, I'm not Jewish, so my ideas of how I do that might be different from an actual kosher law standard. I hope that, I think that says it clear enough. So it's not like I have to not use the same fry pan in my view, but I should use a clean fry pan in my view. So I don't have two separate kitchens and stuff like that. But I do follow the Hebraic law guidelines from the Bible. Anyway, kind of off on this thing. But anyway, so what a good breakfast. Okay, and what I was starting to say about Leanna's comment was she was talking about how she realized that she'd eaten a larger volume of food over the years than she needed. And when she went through something, she realized she could function on a lot less food. And I remember doing that too. And it's not that I'm eating a big volume of food, but when I had bought the bread and I was thinking about, I had gone to the grocery store to get beef bacon, specifically beef bacon. Well, it wasn't the only thing I was getting, but whatever. Anyway, and then I was imagining a breakfast sandwich. And the imagination of the breakfast sandwich was two slices of beef bacon and two eggs and two slices of bread. And I was thinking about that when I woke up this morning. And I was like, I don't even want that right now. And I'm like, well, that's good because the bacon will last longer without a refrigerator and without much ice than other meats may have bought. Okay. Other things I may have bought. So I was like, I remember a time when I maneuvered. It was a very stressful time in my life, but I would I was working hard, like physical work, picking daffodils on a daffodil farm, like by hand picking them and walking miles and miles and miles every day because you had to walk a certain amount, have a certain arm load full, walk them to the end of the row, put them down. It was a whole thing. And you had to keep track of the numbers in your head, which I'm not a big numbers person. So, uh, and I remember I was so stressed because of my living situation. So I chose to have a small bowl of oatmeal for breakfast with raisins and cinnamon because I couldn't do the other things that the household was doing. And then I would just drink water, and for lunch I would have homemade bread, and it was good, European style bread. So it was sturdy. Is that a good word for bread? Sturdy bread, not just light, fluffy American style, right? So it was a sturdy bread. So I would have one slice of bread with homemade peanut butter. So I was having a half a peanut butter sandwich and an apple was my lunch. And that was it. And then when I got home from that work, I would have one bowl of whatever the meal that family was having at the time. And I just had a limit to the size of the bowl because it seemed like if I stuck to that one bowl, they wouldn't get mad at me. But if I had that one bowl and I wanted one more tasteful, I would get yelled at horribly. And so it's kind of how I maneuvered. And that was not a lot of food at the time, but I did just fine. And I guess I just decided that after Leanna made a comment, it made sense to just think about what am I thinking about how much I should be eating and am I doing something that doesn't feel right? Maybe I should look at that again. And so this morning, rather than putting together this great big sandwich that I didn't even really want, I had one egg, one thin slice of bread sandwich. It was great. And now I'm having some more coffee. And that was it. You know. And like I said, I didn't have butter because it's dairy with and because the egg was cooked in the beef. So there was no butter. I just toasted the bread over my sterno can. I know you guys aren't used to that. I'm I'm still talking, but I'm not looking at your messages, guys. I'll get to you. But I'm thinking, I'm leaning strongly towards selling the cute antique cook stove. The firebox is not large enough to warm this screened porch over the winter. And I'm going to want warm out here because I love using this space. Okay. And then as I'm dealing with that, I've been using the sterno cans more and more. And even when I did my little first trial run of camping again, the sterno just makes sense in fire bans and stuff like that, where I have that allergic reaction or weird reaction to propane. It just, yeah, sterno smells, but I don't get sick behind it like I do with propane. So, and the butane having propane in it tends to do that to me as well. Yeah, my son had one of those here with old cans of fuel before they started putting propane in it. And I did fine until he got into the new cans of fuel. And then if I turned it on, I would cough. So I'm like, just leave that stuff alone. Yeah, I'll do what you got to do, but I'm going to leave that alone. So I love having the double burner. I got a, turn this around and show you. I got a vintage sterno stove, that black two burner. Wait a minute. I guess that's as big as I can get it today. That black, where's my finger? Up more. Whoops, over there. That, go like that, Lesa. That is a two burner sterno. It's a vintage sterno stove that used to be common in the 60s for campers, okay? And the top of it's great. The bottom of it, they changed the shape of the cans. So it used to have a bump, and the bottom of the cans had a divot. I don't know what else to call it in the bottom of the cans. So they set on the hump really well. Well, when my son was here, I was like, Josh, can you drill a bunch of holes or smash that thing or something so it's flat? I can't maneuver this. Plus the fact that I can't fold it up because it got damaged when it was shipped to me. Now, I didn't pay a ton of money for it. I watch eBay. I keep my eye on those on eBay because I like the double burners. It's nice to make your coffee and your whatever at the same time, or your hot water for washing dishes and something else at the same time. It's kind of nice. And I can use my alcohol stoves in it and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's nice. Um, but I keep thinking that what I want to do is modify that and put a new base in it where the cans sit. Because now that it's smashed and flat, it tips backwards a little bit. It's all good. I'm still able to do what I need to do. Okay. Um, I have a little grill thing. I don't even know what it was for, but I made toast on that this morning. I just set it over the stove burner and put the toast on top of it. It's just a little grill thing. Um, I wouldn't mind having one of the camping toasters, not the kind where it's the teepee style. Those your toast gets cold, in my humble opinion. But there's some elongated ones, and I can't remember. I think it's Camping Moon, and I think it's maybe Snow Peak, and I can't remember who else. Make toasters. The bottom is solid, and then there's some copper wires inside. And so the copper gets hot, and that makes toast that looks more like it was in a toaster. And because you're only doing one or maybe two slices at a time, you can flip them and you get good, you still got good warm toast when you finish. So um, I'd like to have one of those someday, but I don't know how important it is to me right now. And yeah, making toast in a skillet is just fine. It just depends on my mood. And right now, I'll tell on myself again. And not horrible. I mean, a couple of days ago, I had a mess of dirty dishes, but um, it's been raining quite a bit. We had quite a couple of quite windy storms. I believe that I was on the edge of one of those hurricane, no, hurricane, wrong thing, tornado warning things, because Window Rock is a distance from here, but it's kind of close. And I'm up about 500 feet higher than most of my neighbors. And the clouds were sideways, a little green. The sound of the storm coming at me was like semi trucks or maybe trains. It was a little scary. And, you know, Wendy knows enough to go be safe. And so she put herself in the house. She got up on the bed. She tried to get the pillows over her. It's something I probably taught her when she was little, because when the big storms come, the sound of the thunder and lightning all happening at the same time, and it's striking 4 or 5 or 10 feet away from the cabin. Sometimes that's a little scary. So, even I want to sit where I know. I kind of close my eyes so I can't see it. And then I'm not anticipating anything. And then when it's a little distance away, I'll have my eyes open and I'll count how far away is it. Oh, okay, it's 5 miles. We're safe, or whatever. The 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000. Don't be too fast with 1,000, 4 1,000, right? And it's like, oh, it's 5 or 6 miles. I'm all right. Oh, it's 15 miles. Oh, here it's further away. Okay, Wendy, you could take your head out from under the pillow now. But it's kind of how I've maneuvered, because when I traveled, when I was hiking on the Appalachian Trail in 2011, I had lightning strike one of the trees that my hammock was hanging on, and the tree caught on fire. It is scary as crap. And to be in that kind of a situation where I'm running through the woods with my backpack on and all my gear, and I'm running as lightning is striking, and I could see it. I could see it boil the snow on the ground. And I'm like, oh, just don't let me die, God, until I could get to a space where it felt safer. So, I have a little storm anxiety, and it's okay. I got reason. It's all right. So, um, let's see what else is going on. So yeah, as far as the stoves go, I think I've decided for sure that I'm selling the wood cook stove. And I know it's beautiful and all of that, but it's taking up space that I would prefer to use for something else. And I don't think it's going to be my permanent solution. So I know that it could, if I only got the amount of money I paid for it, um, then I would be okay. And it would give me enough money to either fix up this other little stove, another picture. Uh, Whoops. I have to turn the camera around. Fix up this other little stove. I contacted somebody from a Facebook group about parts for that little stove. They said around 150 bucks or something like that, and they could just ship them to me. And I was like, well, if I sold the other one, this one would warm the space. It could be, I could do this project. Even if I don't have help, I could do that project. Um, so I'm thinking that if I do that, I probably would be more comfortable with this space. I did finally going to, and no, it was sturdy. It was. kind of thin metal. I have moved it behind the shower house and set it up on top of a couple of pieces of stone to keep the legs from going in the ground. And I have put a lot of the storage of heavy tools and buckets of nails and um, extra auto stuff like the oil. Well, no, the oil's in the car, but the extra antifreeze or the extra lithium grease, which does like fixing locks, WD-40, that kind of stuff is over there. And so I'm working on getting that all organized. Josh left me a couple of weatherproof storage tubs that came from Walmart. They're black with a red lid. I'm going to reorganize my storage that's always been in that rooftop car carrier, but I haven't been able to finagle a, and I do mean finagle, I haven't been able to finagle a rack for that to sit on since it's no longer on the roof of the shower house. If I could get somebody to mount it on the shower house again, I think I would still use it, but it would be longer term storage kind of thing. It always, in the past, I always had to get out a ladder to get into it, no big deal. But I used to keep number 10 cans of like rice and beans up there, spare sleeping bags, a tent, um, things I only used in seasonally, stuff like that, which isn't a lot, but I could imagine if it was back up on the roof, like putting my chairs from by the fire pit, I mean, by the hammock, I could imagine putting them in there for the winter. Or I don't know what else right now, but I think you get my idea. So I don't know. I try to make this a very practical place, but also have it be aesthetically pleasing and comfortable for company because it's what I want. You know, I want people to visit within reason. Um, so, and I want to be able to survive. And I've had a hard time with this whole car mess and then being kind of stuck here, you know, or being here more than I wanted to be or whatever. I don't know what's going to happen with my car. I'm beginning to think that I may have to start thinking about other vehicle situations. I don't know yet, but if you want to put it on your prayer list, that I eventually decide whatever's going to be done with that, or that it comes to me in some way that makes sense or whatever. But right now, it's just like I don't know. So in the I don't know space, just wait. I've been working pretty diligently on my late garden, but it's because I'm moving the garden beds and stuff. And so developing a new garden space, and I planted some stuff that's growing pretty good, as well as I'm incorporating into that garden space my mini root cellar of sorts. And it is going to look sort of like a mini hobbit house. It actually is going to be really cute. I'm just taking it slow because I want to make sure that it's done well enough that I don't have to redo it. I just want it to be, when it's done, I want it done, and we're done. Up on the ridge where the park bench, thank you so much, Jason and Melinda, but up where the park bench is, the wind in the storms knocked it over. It was fine, but there were strong winds. But I found a better place for it to sit where I'm way more comfortable. And I've decided that I'm going to landscape that area. I don't know whether I'm making a little circle or what, but, and I think I'm going to go ahead and make that a place where my portable fire pit sits. The reason I'm saying that is if I was gone, I could pack it up and store it somewhere where it's safe and stuff like that. But the portable fire pit has a really good spark arrestor cover, and you guys know it's the one with the little grill grate, and it has legs, but it can only hold so much wood. And I don't want a big fire up there, but sometimes it's just a little nippy. And you could see it was cooler this morning. Um, so I actually had two shirts on this morning, and I don't know, 5:35, I don't know what time it was, 5:15. I was out burning trash, feeding the birds, and I was like, Lisa, it's early. And I was like, yeah, but it's okay. I feel like doing it. So, um, but, and that's where I'm going with things right now. So I'm kind of trying to, I've got so much straightened out and reorganized. I'm so grateful that I've been able to do this way. I do wish I was walking more. Um, but I walk and I rest, and I walk and I rest, and I walk and I rest. And I'm doing good. And I can climb a ladder again. I'm not going to hang out on my roof, but I can climb a ladder again. And so I don't know where I'm going with that. Let me check what you guys are talking about. Excuse me. So we can get this show on the road and talk to all you a little bit more. Let me go way back up. All right. Let's see. I read that one. Beth is saying, I've got ads running on both of my phones. Oh, you do? Maybe I don't have control of that. I don't know the answer. Sorry, guys. Uh, Donna K, I saw yours. Iris said, how am I today, Lisa? I'm I'm good. I feel good. I was a little tired when I woke up, but like I said, I did a couple of things. And it may have been the kind of food I ate yesterday. I drank a Mexican Coke yesterday, and I ate a piece of apple pie. I probably won't do either one again. They, well, no, I probably won't do the apple pie again because it really just was gross and like, why did I think I wanted that? Anyway, but the unless I make it, let's rephrase that. Unless I make an apple pie, I'm probably not having apple pie like I had. But the Mexican Coke, I'm cool with that, but I don't want to do it very often. Um, but I think I was just like tired too. I felt like there'd been a lot of stress. I went to Zuni and I didn't know they were having a fair. And so there was like cars that, well, when I got there, the town was closed. You couldn't drive in. So I drove all the way around the town and then remembered there was a back way in, went in the back way, ended up in Old Town where everybody was parking and like had to ask somebody, I'm trying to get to the grocery store. How am I gonna? And I happened to ask one of the managers of the grocery store without knowing it. And he was like, well, we're not going to open till noontime. And then I was like, oh crap, I'm trying to, maneuver a couple of things. So it just was a stressful day, not in a bad way, but stress is stress, whether it's good or bad. So anyway, okay. So, okay. And I said, Donna K. Donna K said, in bed, having a bit of problem, but I have plenty of help. We'll keep praying for you, Donna K. Thank you, honey, for updating us. Um, Iris saying, nice to see, hear you so chipper this morning. Thank you. I do feel some encouragement for a couple of things. Um, I'd really, really like somebody to come help me do my porch railing. Um, and it seems that even though I did hear from Jess enough to know he's alive and he's been having trouble with his car and his computer, but that's all he said, and he hasn't even talked about whether he's coming back to help. So, uh, but I would really like to do the porch railing. If nothing else huge, big got done until next year, I'd probably be okay with that. I've asked a couple of people to please help me come sweep my chimney because I can climb the ladder, but I don't want to go on the roof. And I did finally buy myself my own chimney brush. I hope I got the right one. But you know what? As long as it scrapes the sides, I figure that's all that's important. So uh, I got it really cheap. So I hope it works. It'll work. Um, so, and part of the reason I want that done is it's been 58 and 60 in the mornings lately. Well, I get up early. But because of that, I'm pretty much aware, and because the way the animals have already started moving around for the fall, uh, it won't be long and it'll be cold enough we're going to want a fire. So I just want that prepared so that whenever I'm ready. So we'll have to sweep the chimney and then I can do all the down low cleaning of the stove. And I need to wash the stove. And in my case, I'm probably going to oil it this year because it doesn't really need stove polish or anything like that. So I'll probably just do a little oil on a rag kind of thing. But I need to wash it. I had made something that was I can't remember what it was. I made a soup or something and it spilled down the side and I never actually washed it off and I should have, but I just didn't get to it. And so I do need to do enough stuff to the back end of the tracker so it's the roof stops leaking. I have all the stuff, but I've been kind of holding off because I want to do the windows too because the windows in the back are leaking. And now I'm starting to go, should I even put all the energy into this? What what should I do because of this weird anomaly that happened? I don't want to talk about it yet, but this weird anomaly that happened, I'm like, maybe I should start thinking about trying to sell it to somebody who really wants one really bad. Because it's a good overland or rock crawler project vehicle. I mean, there's not that much to do. It's got a new engine, you know. But maybe I should start thinking about that. I don't know the answer. Let's just put it that way. That just, this morning as I was having my first coffee, I thought about it a couple of times like I was asking the creator for some help with that. Like, do I start thinking about this? Because there's been a couple of opportunities when I would have liked to have just gotten in the car and gone for a 4 hour ride, and I couldn't. And now I wouldn't after the anomaly. And so I'm like, but I am not going in debt for anything. I'm so blessed to be out of debt. Okay, let me stop talking about that. Oh, I saw Bernie's name. Are you here, Bernie? Hey. Hola, amigo. Amiga. Beth. Much of kosher kitchen designing that I learned is actually good food safety rules and practices. I agree. I just know that a lot of true Jewish I don't know if I need to say Jewish, but true Jewish kosher kitchens, they have two separate kitchens, one for dairy and one for. It's in, I'm not quite going that far, but I'm careful. So, oh, and Beth said she agreed with using the term sturdy for bread. There you go. Leanna said my breakfast sounded good. It was sounded great. Lots of exclamation points and a smiley face emoji. And yes, it did. It was just right. And I'm not hungry and I'm enjoying the second coffee. And there's something about me having the flavored coffee. I'm not wanting to put stuff in it. I'm just enjoying it black. I didn't know that was going to happen, but I'm really enjoying it. And I don't want coffee every day. There's been other things. I haven't been making my kefir since Josh was here and his family. And so I was thinking about it. Probably tomorrow, I'll put maybe this afternoon late, I'll get the kefir back on. I really like having my kefir and a piece of fruit or a little fruit to go with it as the first thing I have in the morning. I prefer that. And then maybe by 10 o'clock or so, I'll make a coffee and I'll make a half a coffee, not a whole coffee, right? Um, but the kefir, oh, not the kefir, and the fruit, if I have one dried fig, I don't have a bathroom problem. It feels good. I'm okay with that. So I've tried that. I've had the pomegranate powder stirred in my kefir, which is really good. Um, I've had used date syrup or dates, either one. I'm not going to keep dates here unless I know there's something coming up special. And that because date syrup I'm fine with, and date sugar I just don't like. I don't know what it is. But anyway, um, but the dates little more like I could just sit and eat them like I don't know what. So I'm just being easy with that because I don't want to have to pay for them either. Food's expensive these days or whatever. And then, but so even like I said, the dry fig, just one dried fig in my kefir was really good. And I'm not like putting it in a blender and doing weird stuff to it. It's just like really natural food. And whether it's that or it's the pomegranate, which I really like the pomegranate too, or the dates or what else. But I figured if it's just a fruit, okay, and not much of it, just a little. But what a nice thing during. So if my Sunday I have a flavored coffee, who cares? That's how I'm thinking, anyways. It was really good. Donna Kay talking about making toast in a skillet. She likes it that way, and that's wonderful. Um, I like it in a skillet too. I just didn't have a clean one this morning. And I have my moments. And when the wood stove's going, I just want to put it right on the wood stove. But then I have to like clean the wood stove off. So why clean the wood stove? Um, Beth said, my dad was telling us a story. If you're the right age, you'll get this. And as he said, the characters yells, Shazam! Lightning struck the ground in the campsite next to ours. Yeah. Yep. And then Iris said, yep, had all that last night. Lightning came right through our window coverings and banged like crazy. Little one was shaken and panting most of the night. She's exhausted. Oh, Iris, that sounds crazy. Um, um, oh, you could see the lightning through the window coverings. Yeah. Um, your little one, if she has trouble with the thunder and lightning things, if you get a baby or small child's t-shirt that's a little smaller than she is, like not horribly, but so that when you put it on, it's a little tight, it helps. I learned that with Aussie. And I know they make lightning vests and stuff for pets, but they're so expensive. I'm saying just get a t-shirt. Cut a slit in the neck so it fits, but put a little t-shirt on them. Wrap them in a blankie. Um, yeah, I'm glad you're okay. Yes. And that little bit's okay too. All right. So we're at that. Do we have like questions today about stuff y'all want to talk about? Do we want to just hit Q&A stuff? I'm not looking. Oh, there's 15 people here and 9 thumbs up. Okay. Not very many people today. I mean, it's all good, but a lot's happened in the world, and there are things that are more exciting than our visit on Sunday mornings for some people in the world. And let them have their excitement because I don't want it. I just looked up in my eyesight. See if I can. See that wood rack? Whoops. See that wood rack right there? When Josh was here, he realized it was put together wrong. So he fixed it, and that's a roll of wire sitting on top of it. Okay? And so one of my jobs this afternoon is to put my handy dandy trusty gloves, which, by the way, this is a new pair. And this morning I ripped them. Poop head. I think they're making them cheaper, but whatever. Take my trusty handy dandy gloves and go out and cut a piece of wire for the bottom so that the wood won't fall through. And then I've got to wire it on. Now that the thing doesn't fall apart on me. And then after I wire the bottom on, then I'll decide whether I want to do some around 3 sides or not. If I have enough, I'll put some on the 3 sides. And that will help the wood stay on the rack better. And that's where that's going to live for the time being. And yes, my Kelly kettle was beside it because I used it to make hot water yesterday so that I could have a bath before I went to farmer's market and stuff. Well, a bath. I did a PTA. Well, it was more than a PTA, but a warm washcloth, a big bowl of warm water and a washcloth bath yesterday. Um, Today, I've got to catch up on my laundry. I have been trying all week to get my clothes laundry washed and on the clothesline. But every time I'd get almost ready, it would start raining. So I would just change the water in the bucket. And I'm like, those clothes have been sitting in water. Change the water every day kind of thing. First day it was water with soap. Second day was let's do another soapy water. And then the next day it was clear water, and the next day was clear water. And it's like, okay, today they have to get on the clothesline. It's okay, they will. I already stirred them up and changed water again, but I gotta. So big projects for today that I gotta do is well, I don't gotta do that wire thing, but I want to. So the wire on the wood rack, because I want to start splitting wood and bringing it up. That'll be for split wood, not big logs. Last year, it was on the porch, and it bad place to put it on the porch because I had trouble with the rodents. So this is a much better location for it. And I have a cover for the top so that it doesn't get wet. But I want that wood to all be split. Not like last year. I was so grateful last year that somebody would come and just while I was at work fill the wood rack. But they'd fill it with these great big logs and I couldn't. It was kind of a problem. So we'll solve that this year. That's only going to be split wood that's coming over here. Wood that's the right size for whatever I'm burning it in. We'll go there. So, and I've got a couple, I won't do this yet, but this week I've got a couple of log limbs that are close to the new fence line out by the road. And I have my little tiny chainsaw that can cut those. And I'm talking, it's one of those 6-inch chainsaws. But it'll cut those. Well, my saw's all wood too, but the chainsaw's just easier to take out there. And I will cut those into small pieces. I can use those for the Kelly kettle or whatever. They'll go on that rack as when I start stacking the rack. I'll take the wheelbarrow out, cut them up in small pieces, and then that will start filling that up. And I've still got to do the gates for the fence. The one on this side, I don't have to do that in a hurry. The cement's in the house. And so before I have to have a fire, I have to get the cement out of the house. But because it's in the way, not because of something else. It's just in the way. And but I'm not quite ready for the gate out here yet. I mean, I'm partially ready, and Wendy can get herself out, so I just kind of have to keep an eye on her. But uh, I need to cut the one 4x4 pressure treated 4x4 that's twisted that came from Home Depot. I'm going to use that for the fence posts, gate posts. For this gate, that'll be the closest to the backyard and between the driveway and the backyard. And so that one, I need to cut it first, and then I need to dig the two holes, and then I can cement those in. If I was to get that done this week, that would be wonderful. We'll see how that goes. Because I'm still kind of reorganizing a bunch of stuff here in the screen patio, as well as the stuff on the back of the shower house where I store things like the ladders and now that cabinet for the tool kind of stuff. Um, and sort of working toward making a decision as to whether I keep that rooftop carrier or just let it go bye, one of the two. Um, oh, I didn't tell you this yet. Um, but at farmers market, one of the guys, he this guy is actually, I think, the minister now at the Witchwell Church. Not sure exactly, but he and his wife are friendly with me. Friends of mine, friendly with me. I don't know. They probably have closer friends. Um, but he came to me and said, "So I got another probably cat situation for you if you are interested in it. I'm going to send you the lady's phone number." And he pulled his phone right out. And I talked to her when I was waiting for the store to open in Zuni yesterday. And so Tuesday, we are going to get Miss Tilly. Miss Tilly is a gray tabby whose 70-year-old mom has gone into hospice. And so her daughter and son in law were hunting. They have hunting for someone to adopt Miss Tilly because it's always been an indoor outdoor cat and kills rodents well. And started out in a off-grid farming situation kind of thing or something, then ended up in an apartment in a city, and they're just like, they needed somebody. The Miss Tilly is 7 years old, I believe is what she told me, and likes younger cats and probably will be fine with a small dog. She doesn't get along well with big dogs, but they have 10 big dogs and some other situation. And they were like, we just can't do this too. So they feel comfortable. And so Tuesday we'll get Miss Tilly, and Miss Tilly will live in the shower house until she understands it's home. And then we'll let her have room. And so the no name new kitty, who is definitely part Maine Coon. Her paws are incredible. She got that little fur sticking out behind her ears. The mane thing, as in Maine, like lion mane, not as in the state of Maine, which Maine Coon comes. Um, but anyways, it'll give her some help as well. She's a good kitty. Um, and dang, she likes to play and bite. I've been teaching her to be gentle with me and with Wendy, but I've had to protect Wendy a couple of times. Sometimes she'll get in a mood that she wants to nurse on Wendy, and she bites her, and Wendy will yipe, and So I finally took over and said, "Forget this, Wendy. She's not doing that to you." So, cat, time for you to take a break. So yeah. Anyways, um, are you guys still there? Cause I don't see any scrolling on my side, but I haven't seen any questions or comments lately. Um, what else is going on? Oh, I did this past week get the most of the compost pile fixed again. I hadn't decided exactly how I was going to do it, but I kept carrying things over there going, okay, we're going to do T-post. Okay, I still have this old chicken one. Let's do chicken one. Good Lord. It just worked out to be like, just, it fits perfectly. I got to take one more piece of chicken wire out. I might need to move one T-post over about, I know it sounds silly, but about 5 inches because it just doesn't look square to me or whatever. And I need to take the rake out there and mess around a little bit. But it's so much more together that it's like, okay, I'll get to it, right? Because it doesn't matter if it gets a little colder for me to work with that, but I'll get to it. And when I'm working on that project next, then I'll load the wheelbarrow. Okay, so when Josh came, he did change the tire on the wheelbarrow. Unfortunately, it's a smaller tire, so it's harder to push the wheelbarrow. And he even agreed with me afterwards. I should have listened to you, Mom. Okay. Um, he goes, please get yourself the inner tube for that wheelbarrow because your tire is way better than the one I got you. And I was like, yeah, it's hard to do this because it's short and it's okay. It's all right. But anyway, so I still got it. But so when I do the compost stuff again, I will bring back from a different area. There's some compost that's mixed with straw. I'll bring some of that back. I've got one more garden bed with nothing in it right now. So I need to put some of that compost in there. That's old compost mixed with straw. And I mean really old, like, I don't know, 4 years or something. And so I'll bring some of that for that garden bed up in the garden. I'm pointing up there because this is what I can see right when I'm here. Those silver galvanized beds. Well, I know that they're galvanized, but those are garden beds. So that's why I'm pointing because that's what I can see. And so the little one right there needs the compost. And then I also found a spot. Well, I've had this spot up by the ridge. And I've been like, what am I going to do with that? Years ago, I knew somebody had parked a vehicle there and found that it was not appropriate for camping. But this was before I got the property. And they had tried to level a spot. And it didn't work well, and it filled up with water, and it was a problem. So that spot, because it's kind of already been touched by somebody, and it's a little level-ish, and it holds a little bit of water when it rains, but not for long. Like, it doesn't really puddle unless it's a huge monsoon, okay? But it gets damp, so it gets wet, so it waters well and stuff like that. So I finally decided some of that old compost could go up there, and I'm going to start bringing in, and I have some seed for some medicine plants and stuff like, well, I know chamomile's in there. I don't even remember. I think I went through that list with you guys once, but there's like coneflowers and whatever. but it can be out there. It can be the wildflowers and the medicinal plants, and I can do it in a more kind of naturalized landscaping kind of idea. There's already either a jute, or I think it's a jute plant. I don't think it's a century plant. It's too little for a century plant. But I got a couple of things like that up there already. There's some kind of weed like things that grow here that are pretty, that I'm like, oh, I'll move one of those over there. And if a cactus ends up near it, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But I'm just saying, I think that's what I'll do. And when I was over at Leanna's yesterday, she has quite a bit of medicinal plants like in garden beds around. And she said, oh, I would love to put some of those in little pots for you. And so some of those things will get planted up there over time. That'll be a project. Oh, I just remembered something. I gotta remind myself. I've got to get a set of solar path lights for my little pathway that goes up to the park bench, and it's circular. So from my gate right here, near that wood rack, from that gate, you go out that gate, and you can go on either side of the tree to go up, or you can go on the other side and go down. Is the plan. If it was a real monsoon, the going down spot, I'll probably do some like stone, like retaining steps, because 2/3 of the year it'll be a nice pathway. But if there's a good monsoon like there used to be, it'll just be like water running, and that's okay because it can do that. So, okay, I've talked that through, haven't I? So, but um, that gives me things to work on. Now I'm sitting a lot right now. Are you guys actually still here, or have I lost you? And I don't know it. Let me check my. No, it looks like I've still got signal. So I hope I didn't lose you. um, Okay, for some reason I wasn't getting your messages. I just did an on off of all messages, and I just got like a whole bunch of stuff. So let me see. Okay, I read that one. I read that one. Um, Ads at the beginning of a live stream earn money. I don't know if it earns money. I don't know anything about it. Um, okay, great, Beth. I got that message for sure. Leanna says, what kind of oil do you use on your wood stove? Do you put it on the outside of the stove? Yeah, I do. I'll get, okay, so I will wash the stove. The outside, it's cast iron, okay? It would be different maybe if it was a different kind of material, and not by much. Knowing me, not by much. It wouldn't be much different. But it's my wood stove inside is cast iron. So I'll wash it with soap and water on with a rag, soap and water and a rag, and I'll use a little like scrub brush if I need it in a spot, right? And then I will actually just take another rag, like a cotton rag that doesn't have lint, or a linen rag if I can get a hold of one, right? But I'll take a rag. I don't have one right now, but I used to always have a jar with oil and a rag in it. And it was for when I was cleaning my cast iron pots. Okay. And so when you would wash the pot, first off, you put hot cast iron pot, hot water, swish it out, And then if you need to wait to finish washing it because you want to eat your food, go just wait. And then when you go back, if you use soap in it, doesn't matter if you take care of it. Okay. And so I would wash mine with soap, no problem. It's not going to ruin my pan. And then after that, dry it on the flame on the stove. So put it on a low medium heat and dry the pan. What I mean by that is let all the water come out of the fry pan. Well, then now it looks like a dry cast iron pan that needs oil. So then you take the I always had a rag in a glass jar. Well, you take that oily rag and just put some in the pan around the sides, and you put it on the outside and the handle and everything, and put it back on the stove and let that heat up. And that's what you do. So I do the same thing with the stove. Wash it with soap and water, scrub anything off that needs to be scrubbed. If it's rusty, then get some stove black or stove polish. I don't know what they're calling it now, but a lot of the stoves now have been painted with high heat stove paint, which is more like engine paint. So it can get up to horribly hot degrees and temperatures and not burn off. And so you got to decide which way you're doing that. But I just used, if I've got olive oil, I got some. It doesn't matter what oil. What oil do I want to smell? It's not going to smell for long. Once the stove heats up, the oil, soaks in the pores, and whatever needs to burn off will burn off. But I don't put that much oil on it. So it's just a little bit of oil. You could use a little natural brush like you'd use for barbecuing or something. You could use a brush like that to put it on, but you don't need that much oil. So tiny amount of oil. It can be mineral oil, it can be olive oil, it can be anything. I just i basically only have olive oil here. No, that wouldn't be true. I think there's a little bit of coconut oil somewhere, but I don't care. I could use the coconut oil. I could use tallow. I could use anything, but I'll probably use olive oil because I got it. And it doesn't take much. You just use a little tiny bit, spread it, you put it on a rag, get the rag, you know, wet enough that you can, that's all. And then when you heat the stove, you may smell it the first time, but it won't kill you. I hope that answers it. That's what I do. Uh, who's that? Iris and Lesa. Must have been about the T-shirt for the dog. I missed all of these. Thank you for rescuing the kitty, Lesa. Who's that? Oh, that's Iris. Well, I mean, what else would I do? Plus the fact that having more cats here can only help me. Plus, isn't this interesting that I've lost so many cats and most of them were all boy cats, and now I'm gonna have girl cats, and it's kind of good because hopefully they bond really well, and then they can take care of each other. And with the fact that I've got the screen doggy door on here, and then I have the new cat door. You guys saw that, right? The new cat door on the shower house. Um, the kitten knows how to get in and out. She has a little more trouble with the one on the shower house because the magnet's stronger. Plus, it's acrylic or something. It's acrylic, I guess, is what it is. But it's like a little window. So first off, she could see out of it. She could sit in the sunshine and just watch us. And but it takes her a little bit. She has to kind of paw at it, and then until the magnet lets loose. She knows how to get in and out though, so she's doing good. And because I've got that, we gotta go inside and plug in for battery. Um, but because she can do that, And because that door, I can lock it or unlock it. So when the new cat comes, the new cat can get used to being in there. And then I can lock and unlock the door as I need to let her start to know where she lives. And hopefully this all works like I've been working on for so long, but I think it will. So, all right, let me go take us inside so we can get closer to the battery. Oh, there's baby kitty. Hi, baby kitty. You on the video? Oh yeah, go help Wendy. All right, we gotta go get the battery plugged in. And I am not gonna put. Oh, poop head. This battery pack. It's okay, but it's just a little annoying that it makes no sense that every single day it's plugged into a solar panel, and every day when the sun comes up in the morning, it have an error code. Hold on a second. Wendy's at the door in the front, and the cat's coming around the back. I'm not going to put doggy doors on the cabin doors because I'm not. um, but that allows me to control the inside outside of the cabin stuff, doesn't it, Wendy? Yeah, it's such a good girl. Are you okay? What? Come on. Come. Mama's on today's video day. What do you want me to do? You'll have to go do it yourself, sweetheart. Mama's Mama's doing video day. I know, but I gotta do video day. You know that. Look, it's a kitty woo and there's a Wendy woo. Your tail is going crazy. I know. What is going on? I wanted today's lunch. I know. Did you guys see how she jumped up like that with her feet in the air? That's her new signal for I want you to get up and come with me, Mom. But Mama can't come with you right now. She's been chasing something this morning. Anyways, hopefully you guys get to see that because to me that's cute. Okay. Anyways, all right. Let me see what's Okay, I answered that. Thank you for rescuing the kitty. I answered that. See, Presente. Got you. We are here and listening. Okay. Yes, still here. I have to move the van. I can't comment, but I'll be listening. Oh, that's all good, Iris. I know the hype to show how much we like her channel and get Lesa more out there. Do you guys realize I have almost 7,500 subscribers? That's pretty cool. I know I never worked at it hard because of being on disability and, not being able to earn money and stuff for so long. But it's kind of cool. Anyway. But anyways, all right. Leanna, what kind of oil? Gotcha, Leanna. Yeah, I would just use anything I got. Um, you know, even like I don't have a good wooden cutting board right now. I'd like one again. I would even buy an inexpensive like bamboo cutting board again. But I'm starting to be able to have a few vegetables. Oh, good Lord. I cord. Good Lord. Cord. Hang on. I'm flipping you around. There we go. All right. Okay, let's see. I've got a long cord. What happened? Okay. I've got a long cord to the battery. But ever since I came inside, it looks like we're having trouble with the signal and we're scrolling. All right, there we go. So we're back up to 70. Okay, there we go. Sorry about all that. Yeah, Beth, I actually have 7,420 something the other day. That's pretty cool. Yay on this. Thank you. Thank you guys so much. Um, 7,470. Woo woo. I mean, pretty soon it's going to be 7,500. That's pretty cool. And that's not like attempting to try, right? That's just not by osmosis, but you guys get it. Okay, so guys, here's another thing that I'm thinking about. Okay, that's the back of the door. Yes, there's a bag of lavender, leftover lavender stuff hanging from the doorknob. Hi, Miss Wendy. Okay, see this spot over here and that plank? Oh, by the way, I just love my curtains, drapes that my daughter-in-law actually hemmed them up and stitched them up for me. I really love those. There are some nights when I close them. I noticed when, like last night, for some reason, I wanted them open and it was cooler. It's like they do help insulate from the windows and everything. And so when it's really hot and I close them, then it's not so hot inside, and stuff like that. But they also just feel simply luxurious in this little space. Okay, back to this corner. It's it's starting to get cool for the winter. Now, most of you guys here all the time know that this wall where the two windows are, sometime next year after I have enough money, I'm cutting a nice big hole in this and we're building a new part that will be where the bed is. Always been planned, but I didn't think right now my bed's too close to the wood stove. Okay. And if I leave my bed there in the winter, I have to make sure at night that I have the bed against the wall. And the only reason it's not against the wall right now is because of the plank. Okay. That plank was going to become the across here under that window was going to be the kitchenette countertop, okay, under the window. And the this black table thing, I guess I'm going to have to get rid of because I don't think it's going to fit into what I'm trying to do. I might, in air quotes, stick this on the other side of the wall, out right outside there, and screw it to the wall and see if I like it there for a while. But I'm not using it right now. So if somebody was close by and they really wanted it, I would consider selling it. Anyway, but this plank was supposed to grow across here and be my kitchenette. See, and in the winter, I'm going to need that because stuff will freeze outside. Well, I think I'm going to need that. And the roof of the screened patio out there, there's still places that leak. And because of all the screen, a lot of rain and weather still comes into that space. So I've been looking for a solution for the best way to manage this. And I kind of like, I'm going to turn you around so you can see me. I kind of like the fact that most everything I have is movable because one day I can use it the way I'm using it. And then if something changes, I can just rearrange it a little bit. And like when the new bed space, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. When the new bed space gets built, or if I change my mind and I don't build it, the sofa bed technically patio furniture piece. And so it can be outdoors. So I'd always thought it would be real simple to just again use it outside if I needed to. But this is kind of a thinking out loud project with you guys. But I've been debating. I bought that metal rack where I've been washing dishes because I really liked it. It was like $40 or something. And I knew that I could use it in the garden or out where I wash laundry if I ever decided I didn't want it inside. So it's useful to me because I don't have to just get rid of it, right? And when I first was designing this place, I was thinking, if I had a toolbox, like a metal toolbox on wheels, I could wheel it inside for the kitchen to be inside in the winter. And in the summer, I could just roll it outside and it's on. All right, let me say it again because we just were buffering. Um, so that plank has already been sanded and prepped and everything else. And I have all the stuff to finish it like ultra glossy for inside, or I also have all the stuff to have it be oil based for outdoors. So here's kind of the question thing I'm dealing with. I just found something online on Amazon that has that lighter colored wood as the countertop surface. It's completely metal frame, white metal, not black frame, with a handle on the side of it for being able to move it easily. It's got shelves underneath, a couple of drawers on the top. I'm just thinking for like $90, I should pick that up and use for my kitchen. I can do that thing that I originally wanted of being able to just roll the kitchen over in here for the winter and then roll it back outside for the summer because I think that makes it more practical. What do you guys think? I think it's more practical for me. And the other thing is all the stuff I use, I've been going through my titanium travel stuff, my stainless steel because it cleans up and looks prettier, my cast iron, all of that. I've been going through it all this past week as I'm looking over my kitchen situation and starting to reorganize and move stuff around. Part of what I'm trying to keep in mind is that I want to grab stuff and stick it in the back of whatever car I have and just go camping. So now Melinda and Jason are sending me a Sea to Summit silicone tea kettle. And Melinda suggested that I get one of it's Sea to Summit X pots. I would love to get the X pan, which is the fry pan one. It's just like a small fry pan, but with silicone handles that fold under. Anyway, so I ordered off of eBay a set of silicone X pots that are coming with cups and bowls. And I got real nervous about it because I bought it one day and it said it would ship within so many days, right? And I just kept watching for it. And I was like, please don't let it be a scam. Please don't let it be a scam. This morning, I got the notice that it was being shipped. So I was like, oh, okay, relax on that. So, I mean, I spent a little bit of money on them because they're discontinued now. Now, y'all know I have that silicone coffee mug that is, I forget what that company calls it, ocean green or something, but it's they don't make those anymore. I wish I had bought two. It's okay though. I mean, eventually I'll find another one and I'll get a second one, okay? But it's that teal blue that I like. Anyway, so I have that. And so now those pots are being shipped to me. Yay. So part of these will be they're going to cook really well over the sterno, as well as they ought to travel super well in whatever vehicle I have. Yeah, because I don't know what's happening with vehicles. My mind is starting to change about vehicles. I don't know what to think. But I can't imagine putting another $2,500 into this one. But I can't imagine giving it up either. Exactly. I don't know. Anyway, so I don't like many of the very new Sea to Summit kits. They've got a new one that's stainless steel. It's too heavy for some situations, and it doesn't fold as small. They also have the Frontier set. That's the other cup I had gotten, and I don't like it for like hot liquids. It's fine for my kefir, but if you put coffee in it, you burn your hand. So anyway, but so I'm getting these are discontinued, the X pots. Sometimes you can find, if you're lucky, you can find one. Maybe one of your local stores still has stock, you know. I found one X pan available when I did a Google search. It's in Canada. I ordered it. I gave them all my information to pay for it. They can't find a way to ship it to me yet. So I talked to them Friday, I think, and they said, we'll keep looking, but right now, we're not sure how we're going to ship it to you, but we've got one. And I was like, well, anybody in Canada that's driving this way, let me know. But yeah, anyways, but so I'm not going to give up my titanium stuff, I don't think. Um, Stainless steel is easier to make it look pretty, you know, even if I put it on a fire. I love my thermal pots. No, I'm not going to try to get sponsorship by Rock Pots. Not interested. You know, I the things I have work just well. Um, and so I've had a couple of struggles with the shape of one of the pots I have. We'll see after I get the Sea to Summit here stuff here as to whether I start using it like on a daily or if it's only my travel stuff. But my point being here with this whole conversation about the plank and the kitchen and the black kitchenette thing, I need something that I can easily move in and out of here for kitchen. And whatever I use to store stuff on, I don't have a picture stored that I can share with you, but whatever I have to store my kitchen stuff on, if it's stored in the travel container, it's even better because then on a moment's notice, let's just stick it in the car and let's just go. So I like this idea. So I'm really seriously giving some thought to buying that white metal framed, it's a kitchen cart. And I'm sorry, Beth, that I can't remember what the name of it was. I I know it's in my shopping list, but you can't see that. I don't think you can anyway. But but it has that light wood color, bamboo color as the countertop part, and the bottom of it's white metal, and it's got wheels on it, and it can be inside in the winter and outside in the summer. And as I reorganize this stuff, whatever I use for baskets, containers, whatever on the metal shelves to store stuff can be whatever goes in the car when I'm ready to go in the car. I'm just liking this idea a whole lot. So I'm probably going to switch and do that. Does that mean that means I'm not sure what I'm doing with the plank? But the plank is pretty. And I don't think I just want it screwed to anything. So maybe it's a bench for some, I don't know the answer right now, but it's a pretty well sanded piece of wood. So I'm going to kind of just try to protect it for a minute until I have an idea. If you guys got an idea, I'm open to listening. You know, I don't know what to do with it exactly. But the and Bernie, I wish I was closer to you because you wanted that you really liked that table kitchenette table thing. I would just give it to you, Bernie, if you were closer, but you're not closer. And I do think it could be modified to use in a van. I do. But that table, folds up or folds down. And in its folded down state, the way it is right now, it's not very stable because when Josh's family was here, it almost fell twice. So we had to put a couple of 5-gallon buckets in front of it so nobody would pull it over. But that's that. So it does have the things to screw it to and keep it from falling over. But I don't know if I'll take it to the farmer's market. That just feels like too much work. I don't know what I'm going to do. Bye, Donna Kay. Have a good week. I know I'm just going on and on and on. I hope I've at least been entertaining, if nothing else. Um, yes, Bernie, tariff thing affecting Canadian mail in the U.S. Eliminating its low value shipment exemption for all goods, including those sent through postal services, effective August 29th. Yes, I'm very much aware. And I ordered that pan on September 9th. And so, or it might have been the 8th. So I know I just missed it. And so it's a little thing. And I told the guy I'd pay for the shipping because I just can't find the pan. And, but I don't know if it'll happen or not to get that one. We'll see what happens. Anyways, but ideas. I'm open to ideas, but I really think that ordering this metal frame kitchen on wheels with that bamboo top just makes sense for me. Even if I still am washing dishes outside on that other metal rack, would be fine. In the winter, I might not, but I have I know what I'm doing. And for most of the time, I'm only washing my own dishes. I'm not washing, okay, even when my son and his family were here, they were surprised. She'd never seen a thermal pot. And she said something about, oh my God, I want one of your mom's pots. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she goes, I want one of those pots. I've never seen one of those. She goes, I'm always scared that if I leave a crock pot plugged in, that it'll catch the house on fire. And I was like, well, yeah, there's no power on this. And she goes, I can't believe that works so good. She goes, I'm sold on this. So I guess they're going to get a thermal pot. And I can understand them wanting the good size one and all of that. Um, but I don't know why I was telling you that. Just she found some things that I do that she liked. And I was like, Sometimes in the morning we'd be fixing coffee and I'd say, well, you know what? Got to use up those 6 hamburgers this morning. So first off, I'm putting the hamburgers in the bottom of the pot and we're going to just cook them. And even if we don't have an idea of what more to do to it, it's cooked, it's in the thing. And she's like, what are you talking about? And then I did it. And then as I was making it, she goes, that smells good. What if we made so and so? Do we have the stuff to make? And I was like, yeah, we got pasta, we got a couple of things. It was just, if you feel like it, just throw it in the pot. And she goes, seriously? I don't understand. You're not mad at me for, why would I be mad at you? Just, add some water to the pot. I already got my coffee. Add the water to the pot. Whoever gets up next, put the pasta in. And then once it's boiling, we'll just stick it in the. She was like, oh my God, and it's still hot, for lunch. It's hot for dinner. She enjoyed that, making one batch of food and not having to reheat it or use a microwave. That's how I do stuff. So, yes, Bernie. I see that without the cues, but I see that another YouTube person you follow in Canada is having difficulty sending subscribers their items. Yes, I also follow Chrome, Van City, Van Life, and Van Toys and whatever. And yes, he's had to change his or close his American side of his sales because shipping is too hard. I totally get it, but I'm kind of hoping I can get that one pot pan because I can't find it anywhere or that a pan shows up. Anyways, so um but I'm grateful for the other ones. I'm grateful for the little tea kettle and the fact that I'll have them for whatever vehicle I'm running and if I'm still running this one. That because it's small and me and my minimalist ultralight, whatever I'm trying to do. So all right, what else do we want to talk about today? Because I do think while I talked that kitchen idea out with you guys, I think that's worth my investing in that other piece of furniture and changing these other two pieces. And that plank is pretty, and so it could be done up with the oil to be outside, oil-based stuff, or it could be, um, yeah, yeah. I thought you said that before, Bernie. Yeah. Um, but the plank could be used like outside with an oil-based finish on it, or it could have the pretty glossy thing for inside. But I can't see the need when truly my need is to keep things as portable as possible. And I love having a drawer I love having a silverware drawer. And that's silly. Not silly to me, but a little silly, but not really. Does that make any sense? But with the other thing, I haven't measured it, but the other piece I'm thinking about buying, um, I think there's still enough space for me to push the head of that current bed against the wall so that when the wood stove's running, I don't have to worry about the end of the bed. So I just have to finagle this. So, uh, but I don't think I want that out on the patio. I get that I could make it work, but because if I put the table up, it sticks out in the way. I get that, but if I put it down, I've lost all the storage space or all that. I don't know. I'm just thinking it through and I just don't think it's the right thing now. That's a lot of thinking it through. So, um That could be it. Oh, it's probably not it, Beth, because I think it was 90 or $99 or something like that. It was inexpensive, anyways. I see your question, Iris. I'm trying to avoid you. You said what happened to the Suzuki. I don't want to talk about it. No, it was I was driving along. Okay, I'm on dirt roads and some serious bumpy dirt roads, okay? Especially the last mile and a half getting to the cabin because of the new neighbors and the way they deal with the road. There's these big bumps I got to go through, tire tracks. Good Lord. So I was coming home from farmer's market the other night, the other afternoon, yesterday afternoon. I'd had I'd had an unpleasant event happen during the week with probably hunters on ATVs driving on my property and shooting. It's not quite hunting season yet, and a bullet whizzed by my ear again. And so I put a notice on Facebook about, if you're out here and you don't realize there are people, and then you hear a small dog or you see signs of life, don't just turn around and run in your ATV. How about hollering and saying, hey, I didn't know anybody lived here. I'd like to say hi or something. You know, in Central America, where I used to live, you would say, upe, upe, and you would walk toward the house. Okay. And eventually somebody would answer you back, and then you would have a conversation. Well, could we be neighborly and do something like that? Right? So that's what I put on Facebook's because of the ATV situation. Anyway, so on the way home from the farmer's market, I stopped at the state trust land and took pictures of the 5 or 6 different pickup trucks and rigs that are camped there right now. And I met a few of the people. And those people I met were lovely, down to earth, kind of not super wealthy hunting family. It was like grandfather and grandson, and one of them's in a tent and the other one's in an older camper, and they got 4 or 5 rigs and a side by side and a, well, I guess theirs is a side by side. It looked like a utility ATV, right? But the other set of people who weren't there, big fifth wheel, big horse trailer, fancy pickup truck with a trailer with a big expensive side by side on it, wouldn't respond to honking the horn and yelling at the site. So I just took pictures in case there's any problems. Okay. So thank you, Beth, for that comment. I picked the heavier model, just a quick choice for followers to use as a jumping off point and still give your channel credit. Thank you very much, Beth. I appreciate that. So, I had stopped to say something to them, and I was turning into the road that comes up to my spot. And so the last mile and a half, and there's this vehicle parked in somebody's property, like in a weird way. So I stop the tracker in the road and walk over to the vehicle and say, hey, how you doing? Can I help you with anything? Nope. I get closer and I hold my phone up and I take a picture of the person in the driver's seat. And I say, can I help you with something? No, it's none of your business. It is my business. I'm a neighbor. I'm just checking on things. Are you the guy that owns this property? No, and it's none of your business. It is my business. I'm a neighbor. I walk to the back of the vehicle and take a picture of the license plate. Walk back around, and the guy says, "You need to stop talking to me. I'm on my phone." And so I just respond with, um, how would you like it if somebody pulled up onto your property to use their phone like you did on this property? And I started to walk away. He said something else. I didn't understand what he said. And did I say any more to him? He said something, a couple of more things. I don't think I responded anymore. I'm trying to remember correctly. But, anyways, I got back in the tracker and left. And I'm driving away and I'm going, that's just weird. And that guy was rude. And why did he have to be so rude? And if he's a new neighbor, man, the new people, I just don't want anything to do with them, you know? And then I'm like, well, just go down the road. But I'm trying to send the picture of the face and the license plate to another neighbor that we've agreed to kind of look out for each other. So if I'm in a situation where I need to be careful, I just will send the pictures and then I'll explain it later. So I was driving on the dirt road trying to make sure these pictures are going, okay? And then I don't wish happy birthdays to anybody. Please use the 3 uppercase Qs if you want me to read your comment or question. I don't do birthdays. I don't do that. So you'll have to deal with that on your own. Anyway, so I'm driving, trying to maneuver the phone, the dirt roads, and I'm familiar with where I'm at. This isn't like awkward thing. And I'm kind of trying to go really slow. So I'm kind of riding the brakes, but not really riding the brakes. And all of a sudden, the brakes aren't working. The pedal's stuck. Like, I decided to lift my foot off to just check. Well, I couldn't push the pedal down. And the car's rolling. And I'm like, am I stuck between gears? Is it the brakes? I don't know what's happening. So I thought for a minute, and the quick thing that came to me was just turn the key off with it in gear and wait a couple of minutes and see if you can shift it into park. So I turned the key off and the car slowed to a stop and I was able to put it in park, and I waited a few minutes and I started it back up, and I said something to the creator about what was this? Oh gosh, don't, right? And it worked again. So I drove the rest of the way home, about 3/4 of a mile, not a long way. But I don't know what that was. And that's enough scary to have me just go, I don't know what to think. I don't know when to think. And will I have to start thinking about something else? Here's the deal. I know a guy in Phoenix, 4.5 hours away or more, that actually it's more like 5 hours away for me. I know a guy that can rebuild a transmission, but is this who knows what the problem is? And ever since I've had it back from the computer problem, I've had the smell of burning plastic. Well, the only thing I found about the burning plastic is that there's a belt rubbing on the plastic cover, which is the cover for my timing belt. That's not a good idea either, but I don't have anybody to really look at this. And I don't know what this is, and I wasn't going to talk about it because it's so fresh and like, please, I don't know what this is, and I don't just, I can't handle another one. And so I've been so stressed that when I was at that happened after I visited Leanna, but at Leanna's house, I was so stressed and tired and really like physically, like I needed to lay down and take a nap. And I didn't tell her, but I really was that tired when I got to Leanna's house. Like, I wish I could have gone home and slept first and then gone to her house. But I had food for her. So when Wendy went under her front porch and lost her harness, and it's the only harness I have, I needed to get down on my knees and get under the porch and get that, but I didn't because I couldn't. And so I can't handle anymore. In the moment when that happened with the car on the way home, I was like, I can't. I just can't. Like, I can't have another thing right now. And if it isn't one thing, it's something else. And it's true, that's life. And things come and go. Waves of good and bad and good and just normal and just floating around, and then a storm and a. But I've had the thought, if it's another vehicle thing, I don't know. And I don't know if it would be better to just find somebody who would love to have a tracker and can do the mechanic work and just move on to something else. I don't know the answer. I gotta be honest with you. And so, and I'm so glad it was close to home and it wasn't out on a road. I'm on a 2-lane dirt road when it happened. So who knows? That's what I was calling an anomaly. So, okay, Iris, I gave you the answer. So let me go back to that's the last thing I was reading. Where was that? What happened to the Suzuki? Then I saw Beth putting that out. Uppercase Q's. There we go. Oh, right. I read that one already, Beth. Let's see. I see uppercase Q's in Beth's comment. At Deborah Lentz, start your comment for Lesa with 3 uppercase Q's so she'll notice and read it. She's on her phone and the screen is hard to see. Thanks. Thank you, Beth. Shadow Wolf, I see your name. Hi, hon. Thanks for coming by. Bernie said, Tehecho un mal. I never know how to say that right. Maldición. I don't know if I said it right. Tell me if I'm really off, Bernie. But yeah. What are you gonna do? Leanna says, that's scary. Talk about scary. Yes, because for a few minutes I was like, oh no. What am I gonna do? And then Iris said, so do you have brakes now? I had brakes the rest of the way home, but of course I haven't tried the car again yet. I just was like, deep breath. All I could do is do what I can do my best and trust that God's got my back on all the rest of it. And I'm saying the word God, yes. If you don't like it, don't listen or go somewhere else. No offense, but the great creator has always had my back. And so I just have to let him keep doing it, okay? So for now, yes and no, I haven't tried the car again since I got home. I stopped in where I parked it. I waited a few minutes and I was doing something, fiddling with making sure things were together. Oh, putting the sunscreen and the windshield. And I thought, you know what? Let me back it up and pull it forward again. I was able to, and I just stopped it right there and just unloaded the car and got Wendy out. And I mean, sometimes that's all you got to do. Bernie, I ask every day that the legions of angels, warring angels, and ministering angels to surround me. Yes, you do, Bernie, and I remember you doing that around me. Um, Amen, Bernie, on irises. Bernie's, yep, perfectly said. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Bernie. I always worry about saying that one word. It's like, well, there's probably other words I worry about saying too in Spanish and not getting them right. But so yeah, that's the anomaly with my car. I've never had that happen before. I don't know what it is. I'm afraid to find out anymore right now. That doesn't mean that I won't suck it up and go find out soon. But right this minute, yeah, no. Uh, I'm gonna today plug around, along. Hi, Miss Wendy. There's the fur babies having a little nap on the unmade bed. I didn't make my bed today. But the plan for today is to just, plug along, get through the live chat with you guys, and then go make sure that my clothes laundry gets all washed. If I don't do the towels, and I've got one blanket that we got something on, it's a small blanket throw. Those don't get washed today, that's okay. But if I get the clothes finished and up on the clothesline, yay. Um, if I don't know, if I get the metal put on that wood rack so I can begin the process of bringing some firewood closer, that's a good start of that project. I'd like to get that roll of sharp wire out of my space. So, and then I'll do the rest of the daily things of making sure that I wash the dishes from today's stuff. I have last night's dishes and today's dishes. But it's not bad. That's not really bad. But yeah, that's today's stuff. And then I'll tackle tomorrow. But I'm so grateful that that eBay order this morning said it had shipped, because for 2 days I've been like, please don't let it be a scam. I spent money. They accepted my money on the 9th, and I've seen nothing. I haven't got a notice. I haven't got an email. I haven't got a text message. Please let me know it's okay. I don't want to lose money. It's okay. It's all fine. So this morning I saw that it should be shipped tomorrow. Yay. The glitch that I thought I was having with my Amazon order being sent through UPS, and somebody in Sholo sent it back to Goodyear, which is down near Phoenix. Well, this morning it says it's in Holbrook, where it's supposed to be. Yay. So I'll get those groceries Monday or Tuesday. Thank you, Creator, for making that work out. So I did change something on my Amazon addressing. I added a direction comment, and said, UPS, please direct to Holbrook for proper delivery, or something like that. So I just added that because I got too nervous this time. I was like, please don't make all my stuff go to the wrong place. It's all good though. I think we're getting this. I think we are. I think it's making more sense. I just love the screened patio so much. We've had a mouse in there. The kitten's not doing fabulous at getting the mouse yet. But I know that Wendy woke up listening to it. I should have let her out. I didn't, because just concerned about other animals at nighttime, and I didn't want to watch her. I was too sleepy. So, sometimes you let things go. And But with Miss Tilly coming on Tuesday, it'll take Miss Tilly a little bit of time to understand she's in a home situation. And but because the shower house is much more secure, that should happen quickly. And luckily, not luckily, but I'm blessed to have remembered that I had an old dishpan here, like a plastic one. I went out and I put sand in it, and the baby kitty has figured out to use it as a litter box. That'll help the new cat to see it as a litter box. That will allow the cats in bad weather to have a place to use the bathroom inside if they, like in the winter when there's snow on the ground, cats will go out at the base of a tree and use the bathroom. That's fine. That's what I want them to do. But if they're ever sick or hurt or they're new to the area, having that litter box available for them and something that I don't have to buy stuff for, right, helps me. Plus, the fact that wherever I choose to dump that teaches the cats that I want them to use the bathroom over there. That even helps in another. So, all of this like works together for a good thing. Anyway, um, so uh, Iris said, "Sweet babies, just breathe, Lesa. God must have some great plans for you." Yeah, I mean, I remember to say that often. I might forget to tell you guys, but I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but you got something happening. So, okay, here we go again. Oh, yeah. I love y'all. I'm so glad that we consistently come out here. You guys consistently, as well as me, because there have been some mornings when I have come out. Y'all are probably pretty much aware of this because I try to be just who I am. But there's some mornings I don't want to come out. And then I come out, and whatever you say to me or whatever your problems are, it makes mine look so different that I don't even have to like, it's like, oh, take a chill pill, Lesa. You're gonna be fine. So, so that's that's kind of the way things are in life, and so here we go again. And I'm so glad that El Moro National Monument is so really close to me, only an hour away, because now if I feel like I'm getting overwhelmed with stuff here at the cabin, I could just go take a camping trip. Yeah, I need to do some serious stuff to the back end of the tracker. And I have most of the stuff here. So I probably will be doing that project because use what you already have, right? But I'd like to have, I think I need butyl tape. And I know I need the new weather stripping for those rear two sliding windows. Even if I don't have the proper, well, actually, I probably got enough screen to redo the screen. Probably got enough Rust-Oleum paint to actually paint the aluminum metal on those. I'd like to pull the windows and redo the windows as well as the back top because it's the fiberglass or ABS plastic or whatever it is top that's leaking. And so I need to do both of those, and I have all the materials here to do them. So I need to just soon, maybe later in the week. I don't know what the weather's supposed to be like. Come on. I just got through whatever edge of the tornado or whatever came through here. Uh, so today the turtle steps are getting my clothes laundry on the clothesline and making sure I've got the dishes washed up and the wire on the wood rack. That's today. And if I get some of those things done, I've already burned the trash. I will need to go through where I burned the trash because I burned off the metal cans from the grilled mackerel that I like so much. Uh, okay, let's see if I can catch this for you guys to see. Check Wendy. Look what she's doing. She's smelling something outside. Did you see her with her nose in the air? And she does that every once in a while. Uh, the last 2 days, there's been some animal close by. And if she goes outside, she'll be close to the gates and bark. And when she gets outside the gate, she'll go to 3 specific spots and bark a warning to whatever the animal is to go away. But I hope you guys caught that, her sniff in the air. She's such a smart dog, and I'm so grateful that I have her. What a you what a lovely fit she's been for me in my life, and I needed her. Um, Leanna, I think the weather is supposed to be warmer for the next few days. Won't that be lovely? Yeah. Warmer. It'll give me the opportunity to do a few more projects. And Iris says, yep, fall is knocking on the door. Mm-hmm. Yep. So, oh, I don't know. Well, we've stayed connected better since I like moved over from the. I was, oh, not there. I was on this side, too close to this little table, I guess. Well, you can, yeah, this little table. I guess I was too close to that. I don't know, but so okay. I think I'm going to let you guys go, and I'm going to go get that laundry out because it's nice and sunny. See the sunshine on the back patio, and I I am not thinking that I'll order that kitchen cabinet yet, but that I'll think about it a little bit. It's we're just at like the middle of the month, and I have stocked up on extra food items so that finally I've got my barrel more or less full with groceries. And I've made a couple of decisions about buying future groceries online because I'm able to. When I went to the grocery store yesterday, I realized there's so little food that I need to buy from a grocery store now that it's a blessing. So I think whether I put them on what's it called? Scheduled I forgot what it's called. Not scheduled, but um oh, there's a word for it. I can't think of it on Amazon. Anyways, for the repeat order. I don't know if I'll do that. It might save me a few dollars and I might do it, but yeah, the way life is, sometimes I just feel like pay the couple of bucks and don't worry about it, right? But the there's a couple of items now that I'm comfortable with. The grilled mackerel, I'm just so happy with that as my meat. And it's so much cheaper than meat at the grocery store. Now, when I went in the other day, I bought 2 hamburgers. They cost me $4.15 or something for the 2 burgers. And it's lovely, and thank you that I was able to get that. But it was like, I don't want to pay $7 a pound for a hamburger when I can have the canned mackerel and have it available. So I can spend less on the canned mackerel and for only $2 more than if I went to a Walmart. But Walmart's so far away, what's the point? So I'll pay the extra couple of dollars and have it delivered to me in a case. And so I've already done 2 cases. And now I'm thinking what I'm going to do is order 3 cases a month for a while and see how many I can get ahead, right? And then I'll start buying 2 bags of the goat milk powder I've been buying every month, even though I really only use 1 bag. Sometimes I'll go a little over into and open a second bag in a month, but eventually it ought to have me a little bit ahead so that there's more in storage, right? And then I think the next thing that I will aim to try to do is to either get canned feta cheese that would be like Middle Eastern. It tends to be quite a bit cheaper if I get it halal or somewhat, and or I will try to get a small. I think it's 2 pounds that I can get sheep cheese. I forgot how to say it, manchego or something like that cheese. I think it's a 2 pound block I can buy for somewhere around $50 and see how long it lasts to see if I can maneuver that. Now, I found with the dates, Lesa has to be careful because if they're here and I want quick food, I'm just going to choose dates. And so maybe not doing that for right now is better. Maybe it's okay. I don't know. But for right now, let me. And so I don't know if the cheese will be that way or not. We'll see. But, I don't want to be too constipated, so I'm not going to eat too much cheese. Plus the fact that I already know it's okay. Hi, my beautiful girl. My 2 beautiful girls, but my Miss Wendy. I love Wendy. You're giving Mama kisses? Yeah, kissy kiss. Are you still smelling the air? Should I be showing you guys that we're having a little conversation over here? Here you go. Yeah. You still smelling something outdoors? We're safe. Thank you for being my good babies. Yeah, kissy kiss. I love you too. You see her sticking her tongue out? That's kissy kisses. Yeah. Wendy just loves the kitties. You still smell something. You know Mama burned trash this morning, but that's over and you were smelling an animal. I'll keep a watch for it. You're safe, you rest. Mummy'll watch for the animal, okay? We're safe. We're inside the fence, inside the yard. We don't need to be nervous. Okay. All right. So I think we're winding down. What kind of mackerel? Was this through Amazon? Yes, it was through Amazon. I need to add it to the store. I need to organize the store stuff. But I'm still working on these projects around here. Look at how my eyes puffy. We're still working on these projects around here, and I just get like distracted, and then I don't do some of the other things I would like to do. Eventually, I'll organize my store. But it's the brand name is Season, Season, Beth, because I know you're going to jump in there. And I happen to like the grilled mackerel. Now, it comes in lots of different forms, and I get the grilled mackerel in olive oil. And guess what else I found? Well, I probably told you this last week, but I found that Success Boil and Bag Rice has a Success Boil and Bag Jasmine Rice, which has been like pre-cooked rice, right? So it cooks really fast. So if I need a quick meal, if I have some of that here, that's kind of lovely. Although rice doesn't take long to cook. So, and I found that I'm okay with, what's it called? Rice something brand. Millet and brown rice ramen noodles, which is making me a really good like lunch. So, I'm getting hungry now, y'all talking lunch. Well, it's almost noontime. Usually between noon and 2 o'clock, I'll stop and have lunch. Um, but Wendy really is, she's just aware of something around. We'll be careful, Big Wendy. We'll be careful, okay? I know you're guarding the baby kitty. But you can relax. Mama's right here. Her nose is. And this morning when we were sitting up on the bench, that's outside the yard fence. She was smelling something and she was like on guard. And there was one time when I couldn't see the cat, the baby kitty, and I said something. She went and got the cat and brought it back. And I mean, in the same manner that a livestock guardian dog like brings herd sheep or something, she was doing a very similar thing. But anyway, so something's out here. We don't know what. Okay, so that's the kind of mackerel. Like I said, I love the grilled one. It's about $2.60 something a can. But you can get a pack of 12 for 35 $37, something like that. So I'm so happy with the price of that for my meat. And on a general sense, if I'm eating a can a day or something, that's cool. But if I go over it and I just choose to eat more, or if I break it up with cheese or the goat milk, which I'm having goat milk powder. Now, since Josh has been here, I haven't done the kefir, but my preferred is the kefir. Just love that. And that's the curd from biblical references. So I guess I feel like, well, there are evidently a lot of health benefits to kefir as well. And I wasn't even aware. So if you're allergic to milk or lactose intolerant, evidently kefir goat milk is like really healing and helps you. So it's a thing. I need to look into that so I can talk about it better for you guys. But like I said, seasoned brand grilled mackerel is what I've bought so far. It's my favorite. Now, another fish I love is kippered herring. And when I was young, my grandmother could get dry kippered herring like all over the place. And I think that's still available in Canada, but I can't find dried kippered herring. Now, I'll eat the Poland brand. I like that flavor. I don't like the King Edward or King Edward. I don't like that brand of kippered herring, but I like kippered herring. I have not tried seasoned brand, season, it's with an N, brand of kippered herring. I haven't tried that. I haven't tried their other fishes yet, but oh, I also have little cans of anchovies. I do. I love anchovy pizza. I haven't made one yet. Eventually. Uh, Maybe this week I'll have time to work on the grill and get it ready, because once the grill is ready and painted so that it won't rust, then I'll feel more confident and I'll be able. I've never even put a fire in it yet. So, because I bought a used one, okay? But that's because of my budget. Hey, I got the thing for $30, okay? Well, I say $30. I had to pay Justin gas money to go get it. So say $30 to $50, I got it. I don't think I could have bought a brand new wood-fired grill for that price. So it's okay if I got to paint it and tighten some screws and drill some holes in the bottom storage compartment so that if it fills with water, it can drain out. I'll be fine. Um, anyway, so maybe I'll get to that this week. Um, Iris is saying she eats a lot of canned tuna, chicken, and corned beef. I can imagine that. I can't do normal canned tuna fish because of two items. One is the ingredient that says vegetable broth, which is in nearly all canned tuna. Not every single one, but nearly all. And there's something else, and I can't remember what it is right now. Canned chicken is a similar thing. Sometimes it says natural flavors, sometimes it has a sodium something or other, and sometimes the canned chicken has vegetable broth. I just am so have been so sensitive in the past. Corned beef, I did find one that I can eat now, but I haven't wanted it. I would like to put some in the barrel for storage. But at $6 a can, I'm kind of holding off on buying one. But eventually, having it for in storage is good. Beth is saying, have a safe week. And yes, I agree. I feel like we're winding down. Y'all have a great week. Pray for each other. Pray for the world. Pray for Erica Kirk and her children and that whole situation. And that's all I'm going to say. Pray for each other. Have a great week. We're going to come back here unless, you know, the creator willing, we'll be back here next week, same bat time, same bat channel, right? Bernie said, are your purchases in your Amazon list so when we buy, we can help you? Usually, I put things on my Amazon wish list. I need to go add these food items if you guys would like that. I have been whittling through my wish list and making sure that I added like Wendy's chewy treat she likes. I need to put the water buffalo ears back out there for Wendy because they're $23, $24 a bag. And she hasn't had any this month at all. So I need to get another bag of those. But dog treats we're all caught up on. And so I could start putting some of the food items out. I'm caught up on a lot of the other things in my life. So I could add solar pathway lights for the walkway going out to the ridge. I think I'm caught up on most everything. Someday I could add a higher powered cord that's shorter for my phone. Because now that I have this one battery pack that's working fairly well, I need to have higher powered USB cords to power some things. I could use rechargeable AA batteries for a fan that Joshua brought me to leave here. I wouldn't, unless it was rechargeable batteries, I wouldn't travel with that one, but it's a good travel size fan. Other than that, I'm in pretty good shape, guys. Okay. Beth, yes, that would be the right ones. Um, Natural flavors are not good. I read. I kind of get sick. I get sick behind natural flavors and citric acid and any preservative ingredient makes me react. So, I mean, that's probably why my eye looks like this morning because that apple pie I had was like a commercial kind, not a home baked kind. And so that was probably a don't do that again because I don't do this with a Mexican Coke. And I don't have Mexican Coke often, but I can get it in Zuni. I can have one for $2.49 at the grocery store in um Zuni. I can get a Mexican Coke and it's lovely. I can bring it home and when I remember to buy a bag of ice, I can have it over ice at my leisure, which is kind of lovely. Yeah. Sam's Club chicken and tuna are additive free. Oh, that's nice. I'm nowhere near a Sam's Club. Ciao. Much love. Yep. I'm ready to ciao too. I put everything on hold until I finish processing 4 bushels of apples. There you go, girl. Oh, have fun with that. Okay, we're going to leave you. Y'all have a great week. Next week, same bat time, same bat channel. Ciao, y'all. Have a great week. Pray for each other. Pray for the world. Pray for the political powers that be, because the Creator asked us to pray for them. And that's what we could do. All right, hang in there.